The WWE locker room isn't just a place where wrestlers change clothes and prepare for matches. It's a world of its own. A place built on respect, hierarchy, and unspoken rules that can either make your career or quietly destroy it. Step out of line even once, and the consequences don't always come from management. Sometimes they come from the people standing right next to you every night. The same people you travel with, work with, and trust. And when that trust breaks, the locker room can turn from a second home into a place you're no longer welcome. In this list, we're counting down 11 wrestlers who found themselves pushed out, kicked out, or completely isolated, starting from situations that feel normal, moving into strange, and ending with moments that are almost unbelievable. Number 11. Don Callis. At first, this situation feels almost normal. Not every personality fits into a high-pressure environment like WWE. Some people naturally clash. Don Callis, known as the Jackal, had a sharp mind and a loud presence, but backstage, that same confidence reportedly came across the wrong way. And sometimes that's all it takes. There wasn't one massive scandal, no single explosive moment, just a slow buildup of tension. People didn't connect with him. Conversations felt off. The vibe around him shifted. And in a place like the WWE locker room, where chemistry matters as much as talent, that disconnect can quietly turn into isolation. What makes it slightly strange is that even Callis himself never fully understood why things went wrong. No clear reason, no direct explanation, just a growing feeling that he didn't belong. And eventually, that feeling became reality. Number 10. Enzo Amore. This one starts to move into more obvious territory. Enzo Amore wasn't just loud on screen, he was loud everywhere. And while that personality made him stand out in promos, it didn't sit well backstage. The WWE schedule is exhausting. Travel, matches, media, it drains you. So when someone disrupts the little rest time wrestlers have, it doesn't go unnoticed. Being kicked off a bus for being too loud might sound minor, but in that environment, it's a serious sign of disrespect. And then things escalated. Bringing outsiders into the locker room, allowing photos to be taken, that crosses a line you don't cross. The locker room is private, it's sacred, and once that boundary is broken, trust disappears fast. Enzo didn't just annoy people, he made them uncomfortable, and that's when normal conflict turns into something much bigger. Number 9. Lio Rush. Now, we enter the rookie mistake meets stubborn mindset phase. Lio Rush had talent, no one questioned that, but talent alone doesn't protect you from locker room culture. When he made a joke about a fellow wrestler's release, it didn't land as humor, it landed as disrespect. And in WWE, respect is everything. But what made it stranger was what came next. Refusing to follow traditions like helping veterans or doing small tasks might seem reasonable from an outside perspective, but inside that locker room, it's seen as arrogance. It's not about the task, it's about showing humility. And when Lio didn't bend, the locker room didn't either. Instead, it slowly pushed him out, not with one big moment, but with silence, distance, and a lack of support. That kind of isolation hits harder than any direct confrontation. Number 8. Matt Striker. This is where things start to feel more tense. Matt Striker didn't necessarily break major rules, but he said the wrong things at the wrong time. And in WWE, timing matters. Talking about one roster being better than another, especially right after switching brands, created unnecessary friction. It made him look like an outsider, criticizing the very group he just joined. Add to that a personality that some saw as overly self-promotional, and the locker room began to turn. What makes the situation strange is how quickly it escalated, from minor irritation to a full public message, his bag being thrown out of the locker room. That wasn't just anger, that was a warning, a statement to everyone watching. In WWE, respect isn't optional, and if you don't understand the room will remind you. Number 7. The Miz. Now we reach a story that feels almost unreal, yet completely true. The Miz didn't just get kicked out, he stayed out for nearly a year. And the reason? Something as simple as sitting in the wrong place and eating near someone's belongings. From the outside, it sounds ridiculous, but inside the locker room, it was a serious violation of respect. And what made it worse was his reaction. Laughing it off instead of apologizing turned a small mistake into a major issue. The punishment was harsh, changing in hallways, completely separated from everyone else.
But here's where it becomes different from the others. Instead of breaking him, it built him. The Miz took that humiliation and turned it into motivation. And when he came back, he wasn't just accepted, he was respected. Still, the idea of someone being banned that long for something so small, that's where normal officially turns into strange. Number 6, Melina. Now things shift into ego-driven conflict. Melina had talent, presence, and a strong on-screen role, but backstage, her attitude reportedly created tension. And not just small tension, constant friction. When someone begins to put themselves above others in a team-based environment, it doesn't go unnoticed. The locker room thrives on balance, and once that balance is disrupted, reactions follow quickly. What makes this strange is how direct the response was. Being kicked out by a respected figure like Lita wasn't just a personal moment, it was a statement to the entire division. It showed that no matter how talented you are, respect still comes first. And once that respect is gone, even the locker room itself can close its doors on you. Number 5, the Bella Twins. Now we move into a darker kind of strange, group behavior. Nikki and Brie didn't break rules, they didn't disrespect anyone. Instead, they became targets, given wrong call times, made to look unprofessional, and eventually pushed out of the locker room entirely. That's what makes this situation uncomfortable. It wasn't about one mistake, it was about being outsiders in a system that didn't fully accept them yet. Being forced to change in restrooms isn't just embarrassing, it's isolating. And in a place where unity matters, isolation can feel overwhelming. What makes it even more powerful is how they handled it. No names, no retaliation, just moving forward. But the fact that it happened at all, that's where strange turns into something deeper. Number 4, Mr. Kennedy. Now we reach a moment where locker room hierarchy becomes impossible to ignore. Mr. Kennedy didn't show appreciation after being helped in matches, and that was enough to trigger a major reaction. In most jobs, that might lead to a conversation. In WWE, it led to public confrontation, and then something even more extreme, his belongings being thrown out of the locker room entirely. It wasn't just punishment, it was a lesson, a reminder that no one succeeds alone in wrestling. Every move, every win, every moment is built with help from others, and failing to acknowledge that is seen as disrespect to the entire group. What makes this very strange is how physical the message became. No warnings, no quiet talk, just action. Number 3, the Hardy Boys. Now things become even more intense. Matt and Jeff didn't intentionally break rules, they didn't even know they existed. Sitting in the wrong seats on a flight sounds harmless, but in WWE's locker room culture, even that can trigger consequences. What followed was something straight out of another world: wrestler's court. Punishments, public humiliation, being forced into uncomfortable situations. It wasn't just discipline, it was a system. And for 2 young wrestlers, it was overwhelming. What makes this very strange is how something so small turned into something so big. It shows just how strict and unpredictable the environment could be. Number 2, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now we reach a situation where even top stars aren't safe. Ignoring a direct instruction from management, especially from someone like Vince McMahon, is one of the biggest risks you can take. And when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens did exactly that, the response was immediate. Sent home, removed, and effectively pushed out of the locker room during a major tour. What makes this extremely strange is the scale. These weren't rookies, these were established names. And yet, one decision changed everything instantly. It shows that no matter how high you climb, one moment can bring everything crashing down. Number 1, Ronda Rousey. And finally, the strangest case of all. Not because of what happened physically, but because of what was said. Calling wrestling fake fights for fun might sound harmless to some, but inside WWE, it's one of the most disrespectful things you can say. This isn't just performance, it's sacrifice, pain, and years of dedication. And when Ronda made that comment, the backlash didn't come quietly. It came from multiple directions. Alexa Bliss spoke out, Nia Jax responded, the locker room reacted. What makes this the most strange is that she wasn't even actively competing at the time, yet still managed to shake the entire environment. It proves one thing clearly. In WWE, respect doesn't end when you leave the ring. And if you lose it, even words alone can be enough to push you out.